hello, good people. Hello, good people. I am Dr. Hollie Kelly, and this is Dr. Kelly's perspective for June 14th. June 14th. Uh, Literally, by the time we meet again, it will be past the midway point. I want to start by saying, well, what the whole perspective is about this morning. Good evening, Deb. Good morning, Pat. Good morning for all who are joining me. Mary. Happy Father's Day. This is the Father's Day perspective for this weekend. We will be celebrating all of the dads and uncles and grandfathers and brothers and fill in the blank with the other monikers that we give the great men in our lives. And I just want to give the tribute because I have a great daddy. I am 50 plus, and he is my daddy. So I have a great daddy. I am married to one, and I personally know dozens and dozens of great fathers. It does sadden me that far too often we give um, our time, our energy, social media, the media, and when it comes to fathers, they're a joke or they're a spinoff or it's always in a negative connotation. I am here to say I am so grateful to God, the ultimate Father, the Father of all. I'm so grateful that I have experience with great dads. And so this perspective, I just want to say, as I think back on now listen to this, okay, because this is important to distinguish. I often say I don't live in Disneyland, and by that most of you know that I mean, I'm not blinded to what some see as a reality of the negative or the what could happen and what already happened and focus in on the narrow and the negative. I don't live in Disneyland. Everything is not sunshine and roses and lollipops and rainbows. I live in the very real world. And so when I say I have a great daddy, and I know my daddy Sam T is gonna be, he will watch this, he will see this. Ty, make sure daddy sees this. That does not mean perfection. We don't need to, we do not need to make having a great father or a great parent be synonymous with, and he did everything right and he was perfect and he walked with a halo. And okay, that's not real life, because guess what, last time I checked, the one in the mirror is not perfect either, in your mirror either. But a good daddy can never be replaced. There is something, and I know we rave about mom, and Mother's Day gets all the props and everything, but I am so grateful to have, and I still have, my dad is alive and very well, very well. We say you're kicking high or you're kicking low, just kick, all right? Just keep kicking. My daddy is a wonderful 81 years old, and as a matter of fact, I'm going to post one of my favorite pictures with me and my dad in tribute, in recognition of Father's Day. But I said it before, there's nothing like a good father. And too much airtime is given to those dads or those fathers who have not done everything well, have no interest in doing everything well, could care less about the children that they have helped to create and then gone off and continued living their life. I know, unfortunately, I know a lot of them as well. the airtime today goes to those who sacrificed, to those who stayed, to those who gave, to those who continue to love, to those who continue to pour into their children and make an impact in their lives the way good daddies do. I have a dear friend, Dr. Stephanie Hampton Cradle, and she wrote I should have had that out here. I think it is not here. She wrote a wonderful book and co-wrote it with a girlfriend, Good Daddies. And it just walks through how she and her co-writer, co-author grew up with a good dad. You know, again, I did not grow up in Disneyland, but my dad has always been there. I think back to so many times that he sacrificed. I think of the sacrifices that he made for our family. I think of the love that he poured into our family and continues to pour into today. His persistence and his patience. He is a great granddad now. Not just a grandfather, he is a great grandfather. And he continues, I'm seeing him live and in color, pour into his children and his grandchildren, his great grands already. And so I can think of my husband, and there is just a tremendous amount of sacrifice that goes into parenting. And when you do it well, it pays in spades. There is a tremendous return on investment when you become a dad, not just a sperm donor, but a father who is there. Hey, Bridget. And so, I'm hopeful that this weekend, if you have relationship with your father or your father figure, and they are alive and well, that you would make sure they know how much they mean to you. Call them, text them, physically get to them, fly to them, and make sure they know that. Make sure they never have to guess about your love, your forgiveness because they didn't do it all right. We are who we are. We are who we are in part because of our dads, because of the men in our lives that step to the plate, that refuse to run and hide and duck and dive and be absent from our lives. Many of us are who we are because dad was not there. And we're consistently and constantly trying to prove something. They mean so much to us. They mean so much to us. Even when we have two daughters, and we talk often about the men that they will have in their lives as husbands. We need to choose them carefully because they will be the father of our children. And long after you fall out of love with them, they're still part of our lives because they helped create the children that we so love. So we got to do this thing well. We have to do it right. Just recently, I just read up on an article of a young man who began a men's club called Dad Gang because he was getting the shock and awe response too often when he went out with his children, as if, oh, wow, look at you, great job. And it was such an anomaly that he wants to turn the tide to show that, wait a minute, African American men in particular, but men in general, we are there. We are raising our children. We are pouring into the lives of our children. We are establishing legacy for our children that will quickly grow up. So yeah, Dad Gang. I just read about that. We need our fathers. We need our uncles and our grandfathers and those men who come in and stand in the stead. We need you in our lives. And so this weekend in particular, I am hopeful that you make it known. No one should have to guess about where they stand. So and where they stand to you, and really, I know there's a lot of heat around absentee father, but if you have one, love on them. If someone stood in for one, thank them. If you are an excellent dad, happy Father's Day. Happy Father's Day to you all. Celebrate the men in your lives who step to the plate and sacrifice so much. Okay. Enjoy the weekend. Make it a fabulous Friday. And to all the dads and the stand ins and the uncles and granddads, happy, happy Father's Day.